What's going on, everybody? I appreciate those of you that were waiting on the stream to start. For those of you watching the replay, though, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so whenever we do these live chats, you can take part right along with us. So why am I seeing a delay? That's kind of strange. So on StreamYard, I'm seeing a delay. Let me know if you guys see a delay from the video to the audio. It's kind of weird. Before we dive into it, I just find that's kind of strange. One sec. Let me refresh StreamYard real quick. My apologies, guys. Let's see. Okay. No more delay. That was weird. Yeah, for some reason it was giving me a delay. Like I was seeing a delay in my feedback. So that's not normal. That's not supposed to be the case because we're not supposed to have any more drop off. There should be no more issue like that in the live streams. I had a fiber optic installed an hour ago, today. I'm on a different wire router. I had to change the account and everything. Fiber optics finally done in this side of the complex. So we have fiber optic now. The upload speed, normally for these streams, my upload speed, not the download, because the upload's what matters, because I'm putting a signal that's sending out, was around 15 to 20 megabytes per second. I was clocking it at 300 to 400 earlier. So we should have no more issue with that. Fingers crossed. So with that said, today's scent choice, I've been spending the weekend with it. It's Ajmal's Song of Oud. So they reached out a while back and were interested in me reviewing some of their fragrances. And I'm open to it. I've had a lot of people ask me about Ajmal. I've never tried anything in the house. And I got to say, I'm going to have the review out tomorrow. This reminds me in the opening of Oud for Greatness. And then it's like it transitions into a different fragrance. Like it's a similar oud smell. That sweet, kind of airy, almost sugary like oud smell. Doesn't smell like BR540 much though. Obviously a little bit because the oud that from Oud for Greatness is here. But citruses and florals without all the super sweetness. It's more of a fresh, slightly powdery, like daily wear type of oud. I'm very surprised by this. And they did send an extra bottle for each. So I will be giving a full bottle of this away in the review. So definitely be on the lookout for that video. But so far, the last couple of days, I'm like pretty impressed with it. Like 4 sprays is plenty. It's strong. I can taste it for the first 2 hours just having it around my neck. So Ajmal, Song of Oud. Good introduction into the house. I have 6 fragrances from them to review. And I just grabbed that one and opened it. Checked the notes after I started wearing it. It's like, pretty damn good. So make sure to hit that thumbs up on the way in, guys, if you don't mind. Not sure what kind of a crowd we'll have. We'll really get, into the topic here when we get to about the 10-minute mark like we always do. I busted the plastic off so we don't have to deal with that. But I haven't even opened the lid to look at the boxes. Like what's in the thumbnail I got from the website. Haven't looked at the notes or anything. This is a Maison du Matre line, I believe. This is a very particular line from Khadlaj. I don't know if they're originals or clones. I'm assuming they're originals because it's more of an upscale line from them. Aroma Concept said they specifically sent he said, and I quote, "I wouldn't send you something that I didn't think was awesome." That's a direct quote. So I don't know. High hopes, I guess you could say. High hopes. Is everything going to be phenomenal? Probably not, but I'm sure I'm going to find something I really like among the 4. So like I said, we'll dive into that about the 10-minute mark. Let's get caught up with the chat real quick. So I'm getting behind quickly. Adam, good to see you. Royalty by Maluma Onyx, $20 for 30 ml. Won't give you any details on it. Great for winter. If you get your hands on it, you might thank me later. Damn Cowboys. All right, go ahead. Can't be here. Just dropping in to leave a like. Scent of the day, Zaharoff Uden. Tried to take a break from Second Soul for once. Yeah, I've been wearing Second Soul a lot. I'm sure Justin would appreciate knowing that. Jet Black Intense from Michael Malone. Let's see. Smash that like when you weigh in. What's going on, Raw? Scent of the Day's Aurum. Gonna be rosé after I use the shave set. Hell yeah, it's awesome when you have the shave set with it. Noah has renewed another month down, several more to go. Scent of the Day CK All, one of my favorite cheapie pickups of the year. That's such a good fragrance. Bought this back in the summer per your recommendation. Still find myself coming back to it. These white florals are amazing. Any high quality fragrances similar to this? None that come to mind specifically. If I sat there and thought about it, I'm sure I could come up with something. But here in the moment, nothing specific comes to mind. But welcome back. Higher quality, of course. Okay. Aventus. I mean, you can't go wrong there, right? By the way, I opened Vicanto Arsenico and sprayed it. That's barely like Aventus. In the opening, a little bit. It's more of a fresh, green, woodsy, lightly smoked fragrance. So good. Subtle fragrance, too. Not loud in your face. It's a certain personality. Really good. So I started testing that one. And then last night, I started testing Mind Games Blockade. Yo. Fuck Aventus. Sorry I had to say it like that, but if I had to pick, I'm picking Blockade. Wow. That's going to be a high rating. Just to give you a heads up for just from that one spray, I could not stop sniffing myself all night. I had it on this arm. Yeah, it's long gone now because I've since went to the gym, I've showered, I've washed my arms and everything, but Blockade, spicy fruits. Yeah, it definitely has the Aventus tie-in, but spicy fruits. Oh my God, is Blockade good? Oh my God, is Blockade good? But we won't hang on that too long. But yeah, I'm excited to keep spending time with that one. That, man, I'm so glad I picked that one. Oh, it's so good. What's going on, Spencer Molinard? Citrus Noir. I like the name. I like the brand. I'd probably like that fragrance. Nazar Fragrances Black Leopard. Never tried that. As far as something better, what do you mean? Oh, talking about French Riviera? I wouldn't say that's all that similar to CKL. I think that's what you're talking about. Kind of. Like, I see where you're going with that because it's got white florals at its core. The Tyre flower and everything. Not bad. That's pretty good. What's going on, Josh? Ovation for Men. Good stuff. Leighton. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Aqua de Joe EDP. Another excellent choice. Good to see you, Andy. BIR. Born in Roma Intense for Manny. Bleu de Chanel Parfum for Ethan, man. The best of the blues. Let's see. Dominique, good to see you. Scott, excellent. Baby Cat Clone from Aroma Concepts. So you're wearing Rifakat. That's good stuff. That is definitely good. One of my favorite clone pickups of the year. 1 million lucky for Fragrance Fraternity. Good to see you. Got a few more minutes and we'll dive into the first one. I don't know which. I'm just going to grab this first one right here. I've no clue what I'm getting into, what they're supposed to be like. The accords, style, olfactive profile, anything. So, Raph, good to see you. Wearing One More Silver Essence. I haven't worn that in a long time. Dan, not the man, listening at work. Wearing Spectre Ghost. Solid Ani clone. Michael Gassaway, my favorite IFBB Pro, in honor of the stream. Wearing Creation de Reve. So, is that the first one I grabbed? That is the first one I grabbed. So, I guess because of that, that's the one we'll start with. And guys, I just got to say, because some of you may have saw the conversation in the comments of today's video, today's shorts video from this morning about Bulgari Pour Homme. So I had somebody say, you really need to try Soir. And I'm like, actually, have a long-time subscriber that's sending me a bottle. This is the subscriber. So shout outs to Michael Gassaway. So I ordered the Extreme. He's sending me Soir. So I'll have all three. I'll be able to do a video on the three of them together. Thank you for that, Mike. Seriously, I'm going to spend a little time with both, and I'm going to do a review of the three together because I believe it's just the three of them is the line. So pretty damn excited about that. Really opened my eyes for the brand. Was scared at first, but man, what a brand. Bought Boundless. That's amazing. For $140, that's a great price. Overture and Epic Man are next for sure. That's 3A. Epic. Overture Man, super situation. I wore it to a party this year. Got a few compliments from too, but my wife can't stand it. An Epic Man, I like to wear that during the holidays. I'm going to take that with me for Christmas. Christmas Eve, I'm going to wear Homme for the holidays from Happy Land. And probably Christmas Day, I'll wear Epic Man. Because Epic Man and Leighton Exclusive are the two I seesaw back and forth on which one am I going to wear for Christmas Day the last couple of years. Because those are the two that really step out and show out for me. So excellent choices, man. Amouage is an amazing house. Enjoy. That's all I can say is enjoy. Juan, good to see. Spice Bomb Fresh. You, sir, are doing great. Stream's looking crispy. Well, I mean, we got some bandwidth. Like I actually have it running at 720p. You know, normally if I show the split screen and it shows the YouTube page, it's like super low res because I got to lower the resolution so it doesn't pull all the bandwidth. I don't have to do that anymore. So the reason I don't do the 1080p option with StreamYard, an extra $15 a month isn't worth that little bit higher resolution. It's not like it's a big difference because I'm using this camera. If I was able to use this like I was before, my camcorder, then I would do it. Now that I have the bandwidth, I would do it. But for some reason, it's weird. It zooms the picture. It's very strange. So we're sticking with 720p, especially now that we're good with it being kind of at its full potential at this resolution. Downhill Icons, an excellent choice. Anisho's Absolute Aphrodisiac. I've heard good things about that one. We're 11 minutes. We need to go ahead and dive into it. Ajmal Amber Wood. I'll keep that in mind. Strapwise, you can't go wrong there. Nick, good to see you. Desir Toxic. You, sir, smell fantastic. Black Currant Cannabis. Beautiful fragrance. Take on Prada Amber Intense. I grabbed the bottle. That, man, classy stuff. Powdery patchouli fragrance is the main thing to look at here. Still has that soapy, like myrrh heavy DNA, but it's more patchouli dominant and powdery. That's the biggest difference from the original. Donald, good to see you. Not wearing a scent today, not feeling too well. Stop to hit the like and say, hey, well, I hope you feel better soon, Donald. Sorry to hear that, my man. So, guys, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, and we're going to dive into this first one. So I apologize that I am skipping a bit. But, yeah, I'm seeing if there's anything crazy that I definitely need to grab, but okay. So stopping right here. Ross Aramis Special Blend. I've heard good things. Modern Leather is another one I'd like to try from them. Tobacco Reserve's phenomenal. But as per Michael Gassaway's scent of the day, we're going to dive into this first one called Creation de Reve. So once again, for those of you just jumping in, Aroma Concepts sent these my way, and he told me, and I quote, I wouldn't send you anything that I didn't think was awesome. I guess he's really like trying his best to put their best foot forward with stuff that he's confident I'll like, because he's gotten to know me since we've been working together for a little over a year now, that I won't hesitate to say if I don't like something. So especially in these live streams, that's why I like to do these first impressions live, because it doesn't get more in the moment and genuine than a live first impressions, guys, with you guys right here in front of me to comment. So Khadlaj, here we go. Let's see. Quite the presentation here. They definitely, you can tell this is a totally different series from them. From the house of the master perfumer Khadlaj, our philosophy is to create unforgettable fragrances that are an essential and an accessory which leaves a deep note, noted memories. That doesn't make sense. Entourage of elegance and sophistication, which leaves a deep noted memories. I feel like that's a typo. That doesn't make sense. Let's check out this bottle. Foam cutout. Nice boxes. I mean, they were sealed and everything. I cut the seal so we wouldn't have to deal with it. Hefty. They got a lot of weight to them. Let's take a look. I'm going to adjust the focus for you guys so you can really look. Creation de Reve. I do like this like ice cube like texture, and it reminds me of like ice cubes melting for some reason on the corners, on the sides where it's rounded. Hefty base. UAE fragrances, the Eau de Parfum. So let's see if this holds into place. Indeed. It doesn't click, even though it's got a clickable collar. Atomizer's lined up. Almost completely lined up. And this plate is metal. All right, let me readjust this focus. So I'm wearing a fragrance with Ajmal Song of Oud where it's strong enough where I don't need to spray the forearms. So I've got my skin real estate to work with. We're going to go one on each hand, one on top of each forearm. We're going to start on this hand. Wide spray. There's a fresh yet spicy, funky smell in the top. And I don't mean it in a bad way. That's immediately what I got just out in the air. Ooh, dry woodsy nutmeg, spicy. Smells like nutmeg. That's what I think is going on here. It's usually the culprit when I get dry, woody, and spicy right away. It's usually a nutmeg note. Like that dry wood shop type of smell. Very much. I'll be surprised if nutmeg's not in here. Whatever it is, it's definitely creating that aroma. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I know it sounds strange and maybe off-putting, but smelling like lumber, you know what I mean? Like processed lumber, basically sheets of plywood and shit. Most people wouldn't like that. You would think that's a weird smell to enjoy. Hey, when you're a kid, you remember when you kind of like the smell of gasoline at the pump? Some of you are like, holy shit, I totally did. Weird stuff, right? You never know. It's pretty damn nice. It doesn't smell cheap and synthetic either. And they're only like 39 bucks a bottle before discounts. Because I pulled them up on the page, but I didn't click into them. I just typed in Khadlaj Maison because that's the line. So they're all here. But look, 37. Sorry. They're $36.99 a piece before any discounts. So that's why I titled it the way I did. Because I know this is an upscale line from them, but they're cheap. So there might be some gold here for somebody. Might be some gold here for me. I don't know. This is a great, like, it's got that lumberyard wood shop feel to me. I like stuff like that. Like, I'll give you an example. For So Avant-Garde, for one of the collaboration videos I have coming, they asked me to pick an olfacted family between amber, fruity, woody, and I forgot what the other category was for Mind Games. Beautiful discovery set. That's going to be its own video. Mind Games discovery set's crazy. But that I picked woody because I've really, this time of year, I like the woody heavy, for the dense woody fragrances. When they're a little bit heavier and dry like this and spicy, I really like that. It's getting spicier and spicier. If there is a sweetness, it's sure not rearing its head yet. Let's go ahead and pull this one up. Création de Reve. That happens to be the first one. Cognac, cinnamon, tonka bean, oak, praline, vanilla, sandalwood. So this praline vanilla, not screaming off the skin right now. I'm surprised there's no nutmeg. So it's, I guess, oak dominant, oak and cinnamon. Because I have a dry, like, plank of wood with some spice. That's why I assumed it was nutmeg. So it's clearly oak and cinnamon. You see, I mean, there's 3 different sweet notes here. You would think it'd be pretty sweet. Not really super sweet on my skin. There's a touch of creaminess starting to come in the background, but nothing I would call all that sweet. Maybe it's the heft of cinnamon that's continuing to help dry out the aroma, but it's a dry smell. Some people, like, I get comments where they're like, how can you smell a texture? Well, smell the fragrance and be like, holy shit, that is dry. Holy shit, that is creamy. You know what I mean? I get asked stuff like that. It's usually by people that are newer to trying a bunch of different fragrances. Maybe they haven't smelled much, smelled maybe 10, 15 fragrances in their life. That's usually the case. But like you guys that are in here, this fragrance is your thing. It's one of your big hobbies, if not your main hobby. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I still wouldn't call it all that boozy either. I think it's pretty well balanced here with the oak and cinnamon being the dominating notes here. It's dominantly dry, woody, and spicy. I like this so much. We started with a good one. We started with a good one here, guys. I think it's 8.5 out of 10 worthy. It is great. It's not knock your socks off, holy crap, like a 9 out of 10 or better, but it's pretty damn good. Like, that's why it warrants more than a 7 or a 7.5. I think it deserves an 8.5. I think we're setting the bar with this one. So any of these other 3 have to be really special to top this, or they're going to be underneath it. So the first one being the bar setter, and it's a really good one to set the bar with, I think, which could be kind of the standard for my feelings on the line. Who knows? Or everything else might be, just okay after. It is smoothing out more and more. Still pretty dry, but a little bit of sweetness is starting to come in. That light creamy tone I was talking about, it's got a touch of sweetness coming. Not all that powdery, but there's a little bit. Création de Reve. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 right now. We'll revisit it towards the end. We'll let it settle down even more. We'll revisit at the end. Let me put that to the side. Let's get caught up with the chat before we dive into another one. Ambassador, Irishman Intense, Lattafa Old Vintage Radio, all coming in today. It's going to be a hell of a Monday. 19 degrees. Oh, so good. like 90 to 95% ATH super. I wouldn't know. I would just know that 19 degrees, amazing. Considered a Middle Eastern fragrance. Going, not really. I don't think it's a Middle Eastern brand. I have no idea. Let's see where they're located. There we go. This is Virtus.com. About Virtus. It brought me to the About section. Oh, that is not what I thought it was. Virtus perfume. There we go. Real quick, we'll check. Virtus niche perfumes. Here we go. I don't think they're a Middle Eastern brand, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Our story. Let me just find out real quick because I genuinely don't know. Niche perfume brand that gathers the most valuable raw materials of this earth and composed an artisan essence. Since 1996. Bottle. Let's see where they located. I don't know. It doesn't say. Let's go to contacts. Contact us. Paris, France. The address is in France, but it doesn't guarantee it's a French brand, but the only address I see is in France. So I didn't think it was Middle Eastern, but I also wasn't sure. So there you go. What I come up with is Paris. So Wanted by Night for Ryan. Good to see you. Polar Red Intense is some good stuff. Boom. Mom, she said I smell too strong, not her favorite. Rake and Ruin, Beaufort, London. Have Mind Games Discovery said Blockade is the only one I have to purchase so far. $3.75 a bottle is rough. Yeah. Yeah, they're super, super pricey, but damn, it's good. Damn, it's good. What's going on? See everyone in chat. Little Dissy Porom Intense. Can't go wrong there. Sandy, great to see you. Sense of Wood, Praline and Maple. What's going on, Rick? I'm off Private Key to My Success. No, your favorite release of the year. So I had, I want to say, actually, it was Ryan Bork, that literally him, was asking me about it. And they don't really interest me. But I also haven't really looked into the notes or anything like that because I typically stay blind. But I mean, if it's something that enough of you guys really want to see, I mean, shit, maybe I guess I'll have to get it. But it's like 3 releases, though, or something like that. I think it's more than one fragrance. But so far, Ryan's been pretty adamant about it. Seems like you feel pretty strongly about him here, Rick. Maybe if enough people want to hear about it, I'll have to buy it and check it out, right? Got to give the people what they want. Shagaf. That doesn't get enough love. Wrong notes go down into the description. Okay, because it comes across a little differently from that's what I'm saying. It's very dry and woody. So if I go into the description. Okay, here we go. So let's flip back over. Yeah, because I don't get a lot of sweetness, just a touch now that it's settling down. And I don't really get booze. But I get a lot of dry, woody spice. Fiery pepper, that makes there's my spice. Rich incense. Okay, combination sense, captivating voyage. On to the heart notes. Ambroxan, I would have never guessed. Smell further deep dream realm. Vetiver adds it, so that makes sense. But it's more of a dry vetiver than anything else. Base notes on cedar wood, so there's more dry wood. Brings a sense of sophistication, while patchouli infuses a touch of exotic. I don't really get much patchouli, but more Gaiac wood, so very, very woodsy. Here, that makes sense. Anchoring in the dream. Okay, so that note breakdown makes more sense than this one. This note breakdown didn't make a lot of sense because I don't get praline, I don't get vanilla, I don't get tonka bean, and if it's there, I can't really tell, but the cinnamon and oak would have made sense because it's dry and woodsy spicy. So it's like, okay, this is what it's doing. That's why I thought it was like a nutmeg. But this makes sense too. Pepper with incense and a variety of woody notes. That makes more sense than what's going on here. I appreciate you letting me know, Mike. So now I know I need to check these descriptions. And I'm going to have to reach out to him and let him know, hey, man, I want to fix that. Yeah, the no breakdown in the description makes way more sense. Way more sense. Thank you for that. Shimaka, I don't know what her deal is. She was at Scent Explorer. I saw her making posts and stuff like that. She's shut the brand down for, as far as I know, for about a year now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she's never coming back. I don't know. I don't know. What's going on? Kaed by Latafa. See a little Tafa amber and leather with some Club de Nuit Intense Man over the top. Amethyst. Don't forget to hit that like button. Let them know, man. Let them know. We got a pretty niche crowd here because it's a very targeted topic, a specific collection of fragrances that I'm assuming is pretty lesser known. I hadn't heard of them prior to be like, hey, man, I want to send you these. I think you'll like them. So far, so good. Dry woody spice. Definitely speaks to me. Okay. 10-4, so kind of like Nichané is. They just have an address in France. So I believe Nichané is Turkish brand too. I can finally comment. Well, welcome. Glad you're able to comment. Lumberyard smell, right? It almost reminds me of Ursa or Straight to Heaven. A little bit of Straight to Heaven, but I like this better. Yeah, minus the boozy sweet. I like this much better than Straight to Heaven. I'm not a fan of Killian's Straight to Heaven. Sauvage EDT on and off last year. Can't seem to smell it on my skin. Kind of new into properly getting in the fragrance. Yes, so you're going to go nose blind, which is called anosmia. That's going to happen with a lot of fragrances, especially stuff that's heavily synthetic, full of man-made aroma chemicals, such as that load of ambroxan that Sauvage has. So, yeah, that's normal. So it's kind of back and forth because they have a French address. And I have somebody saying Turkish, so I don't know. Scent of the Day's Blue Electric. That's good stuff. Crafted Oud. Okay. Rabian's Tonka sprayed on yesterday. Damn. So it's pretty strong. Including some legendary perfumers to make a niche collection. Yeah, Fragrance Buy had them for the sale. I don't know if they still have them, but they had them for the Black Friday sale. France, founded by a Turkish entrepreneur. Means dignity, virtue, and valor. No, I haven't tried anything from Manscaped. Strong with you. Excellent choice. Star Walker's good stuff. Burlington 1819. Jason, you're wearing what I believe to be a masterpiece. Great option. Sean, good to see you. Kicking off the work week with Absolute. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that one. Not a big fan. It's not, I mean, I don't have anything against it. I've had a 30 ml bottle in the past. I prefer the newer Drakkar Intense. That's more my style. I like that. Oh, you meant Aventus. So you're trying to type while you're driving. Stop trying to type while you're driving, Sean. I'm glad you're here. Listen along with us. Stop trying to type while you're driving. I don't want you to get in a wreck, man. Polo Blue Parfum, phenomenal fragrance. Cayenne Classic. No, I've had a bunch of people ask me about it. I'm going to need to get it, though. Javon Musk aftershave for Ismail's head. Good to see you. Also, has anyone tried Palo Santo by Carna Barcelona? Heard good things. That I have not. I have not. So with that said, we're going to use that as a good stopping point. Let's check out another one. Flor Noir. What's it smell like? No clue. Let's find out. I would assume it says the same thing inside the box lid. It does. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Same thing. All the bottles, I won't spend too much time on the bottles, just a different name on the plate. So we're going on, and atomizers lined up again. They're paying attention. Spray it right away. Give it another little half a spritz. Let's see what we're working with. I'm sure there's going to be something super mass appealing in here because this, like me and Michael Gasway were saying, Lumberyard with Creation de Reve. If you like woodsy dominant fragrances, it's as woody as it gets. It's like a spiced floral with some freshness, but very floral. Very heady type of florals. Yeah, that's a very thick floral smell. Like there's a few things going on here. Smells like could be rose, lang-a-lang, potentially some tuberose in there. But it doesn't come across as super girly and feminine either. There's a nice spice to it. But the opening was very heady florals. I just caught in the corner of my eye. I have to go pin that. That's hilarious, Rick. You guys should try the new formulation of Drakkar Noir. They're calling it Creed Aventus Absolute. I saw it in the corner of my eye. I was like, I got to go pin that shit. Rick's always cracking jokes. I love it. There's something a little earthy about it. Like it does, it's floral, but it's not all that feminine. It's a masculine floral smell. I'm super, super curious on these notes. I'm not dicking around here. Let's go check out these notes. All right, where is it at? It's right here. So I'm not trusting that. We're just going to go right into here, and then I'll look up and see if it's the same. Raspberries, rose, infusing a floral, Laura Thomas and enchanting. Swirl of aromatic blends of cade wood. I don't know what the hell that is. And a smoky resinous accord. So let's see what we got up here. Okay, so apparently it's correct. Raspberry and rose. So it's only rose. I mean, a smell rose, but I thought there was other things going on because it was such a thick smell that wasn't just rose dominant. Maybe it's just everything else balancing with it. Raspberry, rose, incense, cade wood. I don't know what the hell cade wood is. Vanilla, amber extreme, and oud accord. That earthiness must be this oud accord because there's an earthy tone to it. It's probably the combo of the incense oud accord. But cade wood, I'm not familiar. I don't. There's a woody note here, but it just smells like a woody note. Like nothing special about it. Like rosewood has a distinctive smell. Gaiac wood has a distinctive smell. Sandalwood has a distinctive smell. I'm not familiar, and it doesn't come across as anything different than just like, you know, the accord woody notes or woodsy notes that you'll see in note breakdowns. It smells like that. Like it's just generic wood smell. Like there's no distinction that I'm picking up anyways. Maybe it's because of the way it's blending with everything else that I can't pick up the distinction that makes it some special wood smell. I don't know. Definitely ambery. There's a like odd spice to this one. I'm not seeing anything to account for spice. Like not peppery. Almost like a cooking spice. Maybe a coriander kind of thing or something. This is something to go out to dinner with. This is a good evening fragrance. I would prefer to wear Création de Reve during the day in the fall and winter. And this is something you can wear in the evenings when you can dress up a bit. Not a casual dinner, more of a dressier, more formal dinner. Not necessarily black tie, but where you're going to dress up a bit more. You're going to clean up. There won't be any flat bill hats and polo shirts or anything like that. You know, Oxford or better, sports jacket, maybe even a suit. I like it quite a bit. Don't love it. It's not as impactful when I smell it as Création de Reve. I think this is like a 7.5 out of 10. It's very good. Again, it smells of quality. It's for a $37 fragrance. The quality is these Middle Eastern brands have really stepped up this year. They really have when it comes to the quality. Sure, some stuff still smells cheap and synthetic, but for the most part, Khadlaj, Paris Corner, Fragrance World in some instances, Latafa, just and so on. They've really stepped up their choice in raw materials. That raspberry note, it is distinctively fruity, but it's not super sweet. It offers more of a juiciness to it than just like crazy sweet note. Like you see raspberry and vanilla, but it's not super sweet. It's sweet, but it's not very sweet. I'm going to go with 7.5 out of 10. This is some good stuff. This is something that's very situational for me. I think cooler weather evenings, semi-formal to formal dress, Lord Noir. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. All right, let's see. Where were we? 8 likes. No, you got to refresh it. We got 73 likes. It literally changed from 72 to 73 when I switched the windows over. Yeah, so you just got to click refresh. What's going on, James? Gucci Guilty Parfum pour Homme. This is my woodsy fragrance. That's good stuff. Right here. Literally right there. I need to turn the lights on. It's getting dark behind me. There we go. Lighten things up a little bit. Has taken over the dupe market, or am I late? So these I don't think these are dupes of anything. If they are, I don't know what. I've never smelled whatever they're duping. If they are clones, I don't think they are though. They don't remind me of anything. I'm 2 out of 4 so far. Come across as something, a new experience to me. So I gotta say that I do like Flor Noir. It is good. 30 euros each. Pop up at a local store a few days ago, and now you're trying them. Interesting. Send a day's exclusive tobacco received yesterday. Big man, big lifestyle. Good to see you. Dropping in on lunch break. Send of the day. Maison what? I'll wait for the other part of the comment. That Guardian's hat's badass. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody that isn't subscribed to TLTG Vlogs, I've been using that in the banner lately. Subscribe to TLTG Vlogs, my hat content, fitness content, gaming content, thrifting, all the other things outside of fragrance that I film content for here and there, shoes, all that stuff. TLTG Vlogs, that would be the place. If it's not fragrance related, it's on that channel. I do the hat hauls and stuff like that, and we'll go through the hats. And this was a recent pickup. What's going on, Jared? Hit that like button for you, boy. Let them know. Montal Starry Nights. I haven't worn that in a long time. It's a good one. We're getting there. We're getting there, Jared. I'm thankful for all of it, my man. I'm fingers crossed that we get that play button soon. I put in for it this weekend. I had got the redemption code to where I could order it. I ordered it. So they said 2 to 3 weeks, and from what I understand, typically about a week and a half is more accurate. So if so, I'm ready. I'm eager to do that live stream, guys. That's going to be a special live stream for me. I would hope for you guys too. English Laundry Oxford Blue. It's Eros after graduating and half the price. It is not as youthful and playful. They got a little bit of iris in there. And for the longest time, I wouldn't get Eros because I had Oxford Blue, because Oxford Blue is really good stuff. Cadewood Essential Oil is a dark aromatic oil with a strong smoky smell similar to the aroma of burning wood or tar. So it kind of blends with Gaiac wood a bit, is the way I take that. Thank you for weighing in, Paul. I'm assuming you looked it up. That's good to know. It's good to know, because what you described really sounds like Gaiac wood to me. I wonder if they're one and the same, because that sounds exact. That's an exact description of Gaiac wood too. Indian International Grocery Store selling all types of designer and niche, from Zaharoff, Nishane, Creed, Tom, you name it, $50 to $22. Sure those are legit? Are you sure about that? I would be wary of that. More than likely those aren't authentic, is what I would think in that situation. You can't even get those at wholesale as a business doing distribution. You can't get those for that price. 75% off retail doesn't bring you down to $22 on Creed, MFK, and stuff like that, or even 50. So, because wholesale international market, it's around that percentage. Yeah, those are fake, man. I'd be shocked. Maison Alhambra exclusive tobacco, all dupes. Okay, so they're dupes. Okay, I was about to say that's not authentic, man. That's definitely not authentic. Sandalwood, amongst others, leans quite spicy, woody, and dry. The Boz, good to see you as always. Getting a sample of Coco Loco and Aurum. Anyone know where to get samples of Montal? You can actually get discovery sets from Montal. Twisted Lily sells Montal and Mancera discovery sets. I think it's 6 or 8 of different ones, and there's a few different olfactory profile discovery sets you can get. As far as individual samples, I'd probably hit like eBay. If you want the ones from the brand, you can always go check in decant sites for specific sizes for certain fragrances. But Montal, you can get carded samples of Montal. Might even be able to get them directly from Montal's website. Yeah, Twisted Lily. That's where I would recommend too. If you use TLTG 10, it'll save you 10%. And I'll make, you know, the tiniest of commission on a couple dollar sample, but it all matters, right? And you get a little bit off of it. Maybe you get a $6 sample, you save 60 cents, something. But yeah, Twisted Lily would be my recommendation too if you're looking for the brand's actual carded samples. Wonderwood by CDG. Getting here late, wearing Dylan Blue. Michael Gasway, thanks for the reply. Sorry, new to commenting on here, so not sure how to tag you. So to tag individual people in the chat or me, you're going to do @ and start typing their name, and the name will pop up right above where you're typing. You just click the name and it'll tag them, and then you can type the rest of your message after that. Or if you do hashtag instead of @ it'll do the exact same thing. So whether you do a hashtag, #, as us old folks used to look at it as before the internet became what it is, or the @ symbol. One more signature, excellent choice. Nothing specifically comes to mind. Yeah, I figured. My crude Aventus. Yeah. You can tell yourself it is. I'm sure there's people out there that have it that would swear it is. When people ask them what they're wearing, they don't say crude Aventus. They say crude Aventus. There's people that'll fake the funk. You know what I mean? And they'll say they're wearing the real deal when they're wearing a $25, $30 clone. I just say the name of the clone if I'm wearing a clone. They don't know what the hell I'm saying anyway. What's the likelihood you run into someone like us and you're like, oh, I'm wearing, oh man, I have that too. That's some good. Yeah. Very unlikely. Very slim chance. We still has 10 minutes. Kevin, good to see you. Home for the holidays for a Christmas party. That's what I'm going to wear for Christmas Eve. May EJ rest in peace. What a wonderful, wonderful soul. My pleasure. Favorite climate's fall no matter where I live right now. Like it was 71 was the high today. It was in the low 50s and the high 40s a couple days prior. You get some cool, you get some mild. You can wear a variety. You can still keep the freshies in rotation for certain days. You can have the heavier stuff for certain days and all the transitional season fragrances that have a little density and a little freshness. Like there's so much variety that fit the fall season. Fall. I love autumn. Autumn's the best season for a frag head, in my opinion. So let's get into another fragrance, shall we? So, Flor Oud. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's an oud fragrance. Call me crazy. But I think that's what we're going to be working with here. Flor Oud. Lined up atomizer. We're 3 for 3. All right. Sprayed right away. Give it 2 good sprays. Now, I'm wearing a fresh, sweet oud in Ajmal's Song for Oud. So let's see if it's a similar oud note, or is this dry? Is this funky? Is it smoky? Is it animalic? Depends on the oud. There's a lot of different oud aromas out there, a lot of different oud oils. Ooh, okay. So there's a specific aromatic spice to this, and it's a little medicinal. It's a medicinal type of oud, and when I say medicinal, I mean kind of that medicine smell, like that liquid, like Robitussin kind of medicinal smell. Not necessarily the heavily flavored ones, but that's what I mean when I say medicinal. It has the smell of medicine, liquid medicine of some sort, cough syrups and things like that. That's what I mean. I don't know if what the hell others mean when they say it. That's what I mean, just to make sure we're on the same page. It's got a little bit of that. Almost like a grape smell with it. That's why I was like, okay. When I smelled it the first time, like, all right, this is a different one. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, this does not remind me of any other fragrance at all. Not that the others did, but this one's like really, like this one's got a little bit of wow going on here. Like, I really, really, really like this one. This might raise the bar. It does have a little bit of grape soda to it. You guys know the accord I'm talking about. Some designer fragrances have that, but it doesn't smell synthetic and designer. But there's a particular spice, fruity, aromatic, woody accord combination that's kind of bringing me to this, and I'm here for it. I like it a lot. Oh, that's so pleasant. I like that so much. This is the most mass appealing of the three. This is the daily wear of the three. And the funny thing is, based on the name, you would think it's the most challenging one. Flor Oud. Flor, however you want to say it. Least challenging. Not that the others were challenging. Nothing's really been crazy. Just been good quality. Seem to be original profiles. They're cheap. They're popping off the skin. So far, so good on all three. Let's pull up these notes. Let's see what in the hell is bringing me to the thought of a little bit of grape soda here in these notes. Super curious. So we're not even going to look at that. Let me just make sure in the description before we look up top. Let me see if it matches some things. Mandarin, rose, no, heart notes bloom, tapestry of floral with pear, orange blossom. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so mandarin rose, pear, orange blossom, jasmine, sandalwood, Peruvian balsam. So I know it sounds weird, but I get this kind of grape soda feel to it. It's interesting that oud's in the name. I don't specifically smell oud, but I did get a woody nuance. So seeing sandalwood, because it is a little creamy, that does make sense. Why put oud in the name? Because it doesn't have an oud smell. So, because what I'm wearing today, Song of Oud, it doesn't have oud in the notes, but there's a like oud for greatness kind of oud oil here. Clear as day. Here, oud's in the name. I don't smell any form of oud, but it was a little medicinal. And I don't know what to attribute that medicinal opening blast to, because it's not medicinal anymore. It smells more like grape soda. It's fruity. It's a little spice. Not so much spice. It's a zest. It's got this like crisp, almost effervescent, more so. I think effervescent's the word I'm looking for here. This smells great. This smells great. The notes don't completely make sense for what I'm smelling, but it smells great, and that's all that really matters to me in the first place. It's effervescent. It's bright. I keep wanting to say a little bit of spice. It's fruity. It's not super sweet, but there's a light sweetness here and a little woody. So Peruvian balsam, I'm assuming with the sandalwood's giving me a little bit of creaminess here, woody nuance you get from the sandalwood. And then this pear and mandarin combo definitely gives me this fruitiness without sweet. It's not very sweet. I like this one a lot. It's close with Creation de Reve. Creation de Reve, still the one. So I'm going to give this one an 8. Flor Oud's getting an 8. The name's misleading. Nothing oud about it. Not even in the slightest. Not anything creating an oud accord of some sort. Nothing. It's a great everyday, fresh yet fruity, fizzy, woodsy smell that comes off a little medicinal in the opening, probably the rose mixing with some of this fruitiness. It just kind of came across that kind of Robitussin way a little bit in the opening, but that faded within, I would say, less than a minute. It faded. This is good. This is really good. This I could get down with casually. This is the most casual fragrance of the bunch. I'm going with 8 out of 10 for Flor Oud. I like this one a lot. Even though it's not the highest rated of the three, it's the one I would wear the most. Yeah, it's definitely the one I would wear the most. So let me scroll down. I know I'm a little bit behind. D, what's going on, big dog? It's going at Marshall's. When I find it, I'll let you know what it's called. Spectra Ghost is good. It's not as good as I need, but for the money, it's good enough, you know. Unpopular Explorer Ultra Blue. I'm not a big fan of that one. It grew on me a little bit. I kind of did an unfavorable review. RXL's a fan of that one. I know he likes it. It's okay. It's okay. I've worn it a bunch, especially out the shower in the evenings, especially when I was living in Colorado. But it's not as good as I would have liked it to be. Like, it's one of my least favorite fresh blues. It does have kind of a 90s feel to it, but you would think that would get extra points with me. But it's okay. Sitting at Wendy's waiting on my damn cheeseburgers. Spray a little bit more Eros. Maybe they'll hook you up. Chocolate Greedy getting delivered today. One lady I enjoy walking about. Fragrance Alaska. So I follow her on Instagram. Yeah, I watch her content too. I follow her on Instagram. Well, I watch her Instagram reels anyways. Continuum by Toomey. Flower oud. Okay, so flower makes sense for orange blossom and jasmine, but oud does not because there's no oud smell and no oud notes. But thanks for letting me know that that's what that means. Provolone Low or the OG, which I would recommend Provolone Low personally. You can't go wrong with either. If you want a crisp, fresh ginger note added to the DNA with less pepper, go with Low. If I could only keep one, I'm going with Provolone Low. I like it more. Just me personally. Intense Oud is legit. That's where my bottle of Rasasi Hawass came from. What else? I know for certain my bottle of Hawass came from there. I'm going to say I bought another fragrance from them. I don't remember. Good to see you, sir. So we've got one fragrance left. Let's jump right into it. Why the hell not? So, Opaque Artistique. Opaque Artistique. I would assume this is the challenging one based on the name because it has not been a challenge yet. I don't know. Let's see if the atomizers lined up. 4 for 4. 4 for 4 with the atomizers being lined up. Go ahead with your bad selves, Khadlaj. They have been spraying right away, though. They were sealed. I don't know. That's got familiar accords. I don't want to say anything. Let me get rid of this alcohol. Wave some of that stuff off real quick and smell it. I don't want to say what I'm thinking yet. I want to get a better whiff. I don't want to judge it yet. Not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing I'm talking about. That's familiar. There's a specific accord, set of accords here that's super familiar, and I'm trying to pinpoint it. The hell is it? Hugo Boss. Which fragrance? Maybe not, because it's a very powdery vanilla, not Hugo Boss. Not Hugo Boss. Never mind. X that. Disregard that comment. Not Hugo Boss. Oh, it's transitioning into powdery vanilla fast and something fruity. It smells. Maybe it's because it's such an obvious powdery vanilla that I'm like, wait, I know this. Holy shit, if you like powdery vanilla, this is the jam. If you like powdery vanilla, this is the jam. I love that, by the way. Some people can't stand it, and it can be cloying and all that. Love it. Powdery tonka bean, powdery vanilla. This smells more like a dry vanilla than it does tonka bean. Could be tonka bean, but it smells like a dry, powdery vanilla with a little bit of fruit. Oh, my damn, this is great. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. It's going to be the highest rated one. Unless something drastically changes here in the next minute. I want to know what these notes are. I thought this was going to be challenging. So is that the actual notes for it? And they accidentally double typed it on the previous one. So the first note breakdown we looked at on Creation de Reve, which was this. And then when you read the description, it was the actual notes. Is this the whole time it was Opaque Artistique? Times during cardamom. So no. So this, I don't know what this is because this is different. So cardamom, that could add to the powderiness. Exotic and aromatic. Lavendin could add to that. Dash of pepper. Okay. Musk. Let's see. What else? Geranium. Olfactory unfolds with a base that anchors in the realms of warmth and luxury. Vanilla. And sweet, inviting essence, deep richness of tonka bean. So it's vanilla and tonka bean. And a woody note. It just says a woody note, while amber amplifies the allure. So it is a little warm. What's giving me that fruitiness at the top? Because it was a little fruity smelling. I don't see any fruity notes of any kind. But this vanilla tonka bean combo at the forefront. Little dash of spice that totally makes sense. I like how they said it that way. Where's that at? A dash of pepper ignites a subtle, spicy excitement, reminiscent of vibrant. See, not that last part, but to hear. A dash of pepper ignites a subtle, spicy excitement. That's exactly how I feel. My sentiments exactly verbatim. That's how I feel about it. Is a little dash of pepperiness. Such a powdery, sweet, but dry vanilla tonka bean combo. I love this. This is the one. This is my favorite. The cardamom, I think, has to be enhancing the powderiness. It's not wildly spicy for having pepper and cardamom. This is the 9 out of 10, guys. This is the one. This is the heavy hitter of the bunch. This is the one I would say to go after if you like powdery vanilla. This is the one. I would say secondly, let's stop this split screen. These are the two. I like all four. I'm just going to say that now. But these are the two I would recommend. Création de Reve, that lumberyard, dry, woody spice smell. I just love it. It's so good to me. Super masculine too. And then the opposite. This is a sensual, elegant, powdery vanilla fragrance. This is sensual. This is alluring. It's intoxicating. It gets me excited to smell it. So good. So we got an 8.5 out of 10 with Création de Reve. Here we go. And then Epoque Artistique is the 9 out of 10. That's the two. Noir was really good. That's one I would wear every day, but it's not as captivating as these other two. So the middle of the road one in the rating, which 7.5 out of 10 is not middle of the road, but of the bunch, it's the middle of the road. It's the one I would wear the most. Typically, the middle of the road fragrance is going to be the one that's the most versatile, but the special ones are going to be more situational, and that's exactly what's going on here. Création de Reve, a little bit more situational than that, and then Epoque Artistique. I think the most situational of the bunch. That's more of a personal enjoyment. Or if you're going to be in a big area, you want to show out, you want something intoxicating. I think it doubles as a date night and an event fragrance. But you got to like powdery vanilla. That's the main takeaway here. It's a powdery, warm vanilla with, like I said, a dash of peppery spice. I think that's the one. That's a phenomenal fragrance to me. So strong, the person giving you a ride. Yes, that's hilarious. I've told the story a bunch of times. Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir Parfum. I was in Chicago. George picked me up from the hotel, and it was choking him out with like 4 or 5 sprays, and he was having to roll the window down on the ride to the office. Yep, I've told that story. But every time I talk about Blue Noir Parfum, pretty much, I talk about that story. That's immediately the story that comes to mind. My internet was tripping. Just got back on. Is it a dry powdered vanilla like Code Absolute? So it's not cloying and synthetic like that. Like Code Absolute is my least favorite code. I understand why people like it. This is way better than that to me. Way better. This is way better than that, I think. Pick for all around occasion. Most wanted by night, Black Bottle, Elixir, or Invictus Elixir. For all year round, all occasions, none of the above. Terrible choices if you're looking for a signature scent. Unless you're in a cold climate, terrible choices. None of the above. Just got to be straight up with you. None. I wouldn't pick any of those. If I absolutely had to, shit, those are all terrible options. Wanted by night, I guess? No, that you mean most wanted. So most wanted by night's not a thing. So it's most wanted, the Black Bottle. But yeah, that's terrible choices for the question, my man. Those are way more cooler weather friendly. Those are awful. Those are going to be bad in the heat. I mean, you might like cloying vanilla in the heat. Those are thick, rich. I mean, hell, Lamal Elixir's a beast. Invictus Victory Elixir is pretty damn strong. It's pretty beastly too. I think you're looking the wrong way at this for all year round wear, all occasions. Do what you want. Just you're asking my opinion and I'm giving it. I think those are terrible choices for what you're looking for. Spice Bomb clone from the house. New Parfums Triumphant Bronze. Smells real nice. Okay. Got an Ani on the way. Should get it this week. That's one of the best vanillas ever. Lex Ellis is in the house. How are you, sir? Maritime Triumph. That's a good one. It's got a little spice to it. Yeah, I have 2 of the 4. I've never tried the original Eau de Toilette. I have the Extreme, and I've never tried the Eau de Parfum. I have the Parfum. I need to get all 4 because the 2 I have are just awesome. They're awesome. I'm sure the entirety of the line is awesome. When can we expect? You mean a review from it? I don't know. Maybe I'll get it in the beginning of the year, or maybe I get in the because I'm gonna buy some more fragrances before the month ends. Because they have a Boxing Day sale, Canada's Christmas basically, later in the month, just like they had the Black Friday sale at Fragrance Buy. So I'll probably do another round of purchasing from Fragrance Buy, even though we literally bought fragrances 2 nights ago on a live stream, which they shipped today, by the way. Very cold. Okay, that makes more sense then, because like I'm just assuming based off of, let's say from the middle of the United States down, that would be terrible. So if you're saying very cold climate, then yeah, you could get away with those. And I would say for me, most wanted. Most wanted because it's got a better balance of sweet and spice and warm and all that. Whereas you're going to get a lot of vanilla with the other 2. You got to love vanilla. And while I'm raving about a powdery vanilla right now, I don't want that every day. I definitely don't want that every day. I want to revisit it on occasion. I don't want that every day. Most wanted, I could wear that every day in a cold climate. I think it's the most versatile of the 3. So thank you for weighing in, because I'm sure I was sounding like just shutting the shit down. Like, absolutely not, don't do that. But now that you let me know it's a cold climate, sure, that makes sense. So you have very mild summers. Your summers are probably what my fall is. So just all occasion, not in the summer. Yeah. So yeah, then I would go most wanted. Oh yeah, they will. You're gonna smell like baby powder bomb. It's super powdery. My wife said it smells like baby powder too. I love it. I wear fragrances for me though. As long as I don't disgust my wife with what I'm wearing, I don't give a shit what other people think. Get away from me. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I try to be respectful with my spray routines and the strength of fragrance depending on my setting and situation. But my main goal is, as long as it's not an unbearable scent for my wife, that's the only actual opinion I care about with my fragrance. Now, do you want 5 or 6 people telling you smell awful? No. Maybe you need to rethink it if that happens. Maybe you need to rethink it. But only if it's going to be people you're around on a regular basis. Then maybe you don't want to wear that around. Like, everything's a case-by-case basis. You know what I mean? Kenzo Om Intense is good stuff. Just joined at the perfect time. People talking about vanilla. So you're a vanilla fan. There you go. Your review. Okay, gotcha. I did. So Fragbar, like 2 days ago, or it might have been Friday, emailed, and they're like, "Oh, we're having trouble getting it from the brand. So anybody that wants to continue to wait for their order, we're offering, I think, a $10 discount or something like that, or we'll go ahead and cancel your order and give a full refund. Let us know what you want to do." And I'm like, might as well wait. I'm already into it. I'm already in it. But yeah, everybody under the sun's got their bottle now, and I don't. Joel doesn't either. Joel messaged me. He pre-ordered with Fragbar too. But I pre-ordered Hawass Ice with Fragbar. It took a little longer than anticipated. And then I pre-ordered this with Fragbar, and this situation happened. So Fragbar's not getting my money anymore. I'm done with Fragbar. It's nothing personal. It's business. I'm paying for a product through your business, and I'm not willing to have hiccups twice in a row like this. So I'll just wait for other places. Usually Fragbar opens their pre-order before everybody. That's why I've been going with them. But I'll just wait a few more days for somebody else to do it and see if I can have a better experience with somebody else, because it still hasn't shipped yet. Eventually I'll get it and I'll do a review on it. That's what I'm buying it for. I want to check it out because Comra's really good. Now you add coffee to that DNA. I bet it's going to be amazing. So it's like, yeah, I wanted it, but here we are. When I get it, you guys will know about it. That I promise. One More Signature is the superior fragrance in the line to me. I think it's the best one. Arsenico. So So Arsenico, so far on me, not loud, not overwhelming. I mean, it could be some anosmia here, but it's not as much like Aventus as the internet will make you believe. There's a slight resemblance in the opening with the fruitiness, but it's more of a slightly fruity sweet, more citric meets fruity, like there's kind of a balance there. Green, fresh green and woody with a smoky nuance. Like there is some elements of Aventus's DNA, some, but not much. Like kind of how Sorador Gladiator is. Like there's some elements, but it's really its own fragrance. Kind of how I said Sorador Gladiator, it's like 50% similar to Aventus. I think that's pretty much with Vicanto Arsenico is the same thing. It's like 50%. You're going to undoubtedly get some noticeable nuance tie-in, but I would not call them clones of one another. Barely even inspired by one another. It smells great though. It's if you like fresh green, man, it's good. Virginia cedar, cedar leaf, all these a bunch of Atlas cedar. It's very cedar based. If I remember correctly, I think that's the woody notes. It's good. It's really good. Just don't look for a lot. You may get great performance, but so far, not a beast on me. Like 6 to 8 hour longevity fragrance. Not a well-pronounced heavy projector, kind of moderate stuff for about an hour and a half, and then it sits a little closer, moderate to mild sillage kind of stuff. It's not, it's the personality, it's a fragrance for the personality of somebody that doesn't want their fragrance to announce their presence before they do. So if you're looking for a beast, that ain't it. The other one I haven't tried. This is the first Vicanto fragrance I'm trying. That's what I hear. I can't complain. Aqua de Dora, beautiful bottle, good recommendation. Trying to smell better than my cousin because he has Elixir. Well, you don't want to get Elixir then. If he's wearing that, you want to smell just like him. Extreme coming this week. So my favorite's the L'Intense, but not by much because the Extreme is damn good. The Extreme's a super, super close number 2 for me. I like the L'Intense more because of the hefty leather and smoke accord that you get. I mean, my travel atomizer is right here. I always keep it within range when I just want to sniff it. I mean, I have my bottles up on the shelf, but it's good stuff. This is the actual travel item because the L'Intense, I had a gift set, and it's the only fragrance right here in this with my pens. Knocked over one of my clips. That's my pen organizer that's right there, and I have that travel atomizer in there. The bottles in my collection are nice, but I've had them for a few years. Kind of tired of all of them. Thinking about liquidating on eBay, buying a new collection, 50 ml and under only. It's not a bad idea. People do that from time to time. Uh-oh. Y'all might want to figure out how y'all can have a conversation outside of the live stream. Maybe you have a buyer here. When is the next Mancera video coming? So the unboxing for these 4 that I haven't opened yet, it's going to be this week. I'm going to film it over the next couple of days. So it'll be out by the weekend. It's a silver blue, wild fruits. Been wanting that one. Black Prestigium and Sandu. It's 4 Mancera fragrances. They're going to be their own video. It's going to be a recorded video. This is my Tariff Black. Dupe of Arabians Tonka. Frag Common 2015. Everything smells like Aventus, even Dracar Noir. Fair point, sir. Fair point. Gucci Noble, Dior Juice, Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. Ooh, somebody needs to get that off of you. Everything's heavier, nothing fresh and clean. Kismet Angel. Haven't tried that one. I have so many. I have enough Angel Share clones to where I kind of was like, don't need any more. So I haven't tried it. I almost bought it when we were in the live stream 2 nights ago. I did some fragrance shopping on Fragrance Buy Live. I thought about it because like $70. They still have it in stock, Phantom Parfum, but I was just kind of meh on the original. So I think I should, because I sampled the original first, I think I should sample the Parfum first too. I think that'd be a smart play. Since I wasn't like, oh God, I need a bottle, or eventually I'll get a bottle. Like neither of those thoughts came to mind when I smelled the original. Not sure. Last time I bought a fragrance on Amazon was my 50 ml of the Most Wanted. So I had a $50 gift card, and it just came out, so it was retail everywhere. So I used it there. So I only paid like $20, $30, something like that for it. That's how long it's been since I bought anything. I take that back. I bought something else from Amazon. I buy other things from Amazon, but I mean, as far as fragrance, I bought another fragrance from Amazon within the last couple of months. What the hell was it? I don't remember. But that's a tough question. I'd have to look around. I mean, hell, I incorporated suggestions from the audience to Fragrance Shop 2 nights ago because there's so many things I like to get. Like, I'm open to whatever. What do you guys want me to get more is what it turned into. I'm open to suggestions. And a lot of what I bought was suggestions from the audience. So that's kind of a tough one to answer right now in the moment. I'd have to look around a little bit. I've been wanting to check it out for a while. I know it's an iris fragrance, and I love Mancera. I love iris. I'm destined to love it. That's probably going to be the first one I open. No, maybe wild. I typically go fresh fragrances first, so wild fruits will probably be the first one. Then maybe sand oud, silver blue, then black prestigium. Maybe I'll save it for last. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's sweet. People say I think I'm going for apple brandy instead. That dope ass bottle. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Save this man. Look at the Falcons avatar, guys. I had somebody in today's video, because I was wearing the Salute Service Saint stuff, say something about that shirt will make any fragrance smell like shit. And you put the shit emoji. He said, all love, great video, but FTS that shirt. So I replied, must be a Falcons fan, 28-3. Because that's how you trigger a Falcons fan. Like right now, he's laughing because I 28-3. Anybody that knows. That's how you trigger a Falcons fan right there. Just bring up 28-3. But anyways, trying to choose between Carlisle and Herod from PDM. Have Leighton and Noir on. Which one would be the blind buy? Herod's the safer play here. They're both phenomenal. But if you like tobacco scents, go with Herod. Because contrary to the internet's belief, Carlisle's not a tobacco fragrance. It's not. I get the somewhat similarity to red tobacco, but it's really its own thing. But if you want a good tobacco, Herod. I mean, it's a modern classic when it comes to tobaccos. What's going on, D? Good to see you. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. Beautiful cherry fragrance. Amazon is the best place to buy, man. I got scammed with Ben's Black. It was fake and burnt my skin. You got to really check your sellers there. Okay, I got one for Herod. Anyone else saying the thing? Yeah, I said the same for Herod. Let's see. Sweet and cozy. Yeah. Bought a fragrance from Amazon and it still hasn't arrived. Updated delivery 3 times. Yeah, that's happened to me before too. Delivery's not what it used to be, guys. Atlanta got goated. Yeah, they did. They sure did. Notes down, Ross. Advice. Okay. Top 5 to wear if you're a Falcons fan. Number 1, Youp Homme. That's a great option because I think Youp Homme is a chemical shit mess of a fragrance. I like every flanker better. Every single flanker is better. I just have Youp Homme for reference for when I want to talk about fragrances I don't like. That's what I have Youp Homme for. That's hilarious. So we got a laughing emoji out of him. Yeah. So that's good. But yeah, that's he. I think King 7. I think a great fragrance recommendation for you would be Cuba Black Prestige, or Cuba Prestige Black. I think is the actual way to say the name. Right now, if Spencer's watching, he's laughing his ass off. I hate that fragrance. I'm just playing. You're a Falcons fan. I'm a Saints fan. We're natural rivals. You know what I mean? Yeah, Herod would be the way to go, I would think. The original Boss Descent. Damn, that's a good choice. Nobody talks about that one. That's a great date night fragrance in the summer. I don't think it gets enough love for that. It works really well in the heat in the evenings. Cool perfumes smell like OG Phantom. They're both synthetic smelling to me. I mean, they could both smell synthetic, but I don't think they smell the same. Harmonic Code. I'm assuming you meant the Parfum, the Iris one. I don't think so, because I get a lot more sweetness without really any Iris from Phantom. Atlanta Lights. Yeah, the Falcons and the Hawks. Good point, Boz. Good point. Giancarlo, Possible or Indie? I've come across companies Amazon and read the complaints. Ships to several places before getting to you a month or so later. Damn. Yeah, I'm going with Herod. Herod would be the way to go, I think. Now, look, if you got Carlisle, you'd be happy. It's phenomenal. When I had less Parfums de Marly fragrances, when I only had like 4 or 5, it was my favorite. As I continued to expand the ones I tried and the ones I bought bottles of, it's still in my top 3, but there was a time a few years ago where it was my absolute favorite. Favorite winter scent, favorite from Parfums de Marly. So if you get it, if you decide to go with that anyway, you'll be happy with it. But Herod, I think that's a better play. And as you can see, pretty much most people are going to agree with that, saying that Herod is awesome. Yeah, that's going to be the case. Most people would agree. If you like tobacco scents, it's phenomenal. It's really good. Nothing challenging about it. Easy wear. You'll probably get some compliments wearing it. PDM is a good brand for doing stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. It's good natured stuff, not the kind of shit Roddy White did when he was playing for you guys, where he was a hateful prick to Saints fans. It's not that kind of give and take. It's just good natured stuff. I like to mess with Cowboys fans too. I got a lot of Cowboys fans that watch. So, I mean, we suck. Y'all suck. We suck. Our division's terrible. Baker Mayfield's looking like a stud in our division right now. Think about that. And appreciate it. I remember wearing a Ventus, and girlfriend at the time preferred Youp Ohm. I dodged the bullet with that one. She liked Youp Ohm. There's still people that like that. Like, I get it if you grew up with that, like a little bit older than me, because I know it was super popular in the 80s. I was a little kid, very little kid. I was born in 85, so I was 5 in 1990. So I don't remember the heyday of Youp Ohm like some guys do. Now, I could understand those guys still liking it and being like, oh, yeah, it wasn't what it once was, but boy, I still think of the old times when I smell it. I get that. But today's Youp Ohm, so synthetic. Like, it bothers me when people compare that to Creed Original Santal or even Mont Blanc Individuel. Like, don't you defame those two fragrances with that. That's immediately what I think. Like, those are so much better than that. It's a monster, but like a terrible monster. Like, it's a phenomenal performer still, but it's so cloying to me. Look, it could just be me. It's just my opinion, the way I feel about it. Some of you watching might be like, you're exaggerating. That's really how I feel about it. But to each their own. It just comes down to a personal taste thing, like we talk about all the time. You know how long? I mean, you won't know how long. It's been forever. I would say 7 years, maybe, since the last time I smelled that fragrance, 7 or 8 years. I've never owned it. I had a coworker that used to wear it all the time. No, for Justin. Yeah, Justin actually got a bottle, got rid of it, and then got another bottle and likes it more now. Kind of weird how that worked out. Oh, yeah. Rewind, missed your endpoint. Oh, so you missed my input on it. So kind of like how I'll kind of recap it as quickly as I can. When it comes to the Aventus tie-in, it's like 50%, kind of how I say Sorador Gladiators, like 50% Aventus. Like, there's clear, obvious nuance that relates to Aventus, but they're more their own fragrances. I've been getting around 7 or 8 hours of longevity out of Arsenico, and it's more of a balanced citrus fruity opening with some smoky nuance, but it's a very fresh green and woodsy fragrance. Very beautiful, versatile personality to it. Like, it's a very good do-it-all quality fragrance that isn't going to announce your presence when you walk up. Now, if you get within a few feet, and then the current of the air will eventually catch them. It's one that can be discovered. It doesn't punch immediately when you walk into the airspace. I like that. And for some people, that's the personality that they have. That's the kind of fragrance they want. So, and for a work setting, I think that'd be an office setting. That'd be a phenomenal choice. Phenomenal choice. Because you're not going to bother anybody, but they're still going to smell you. It's quality stuff. You're going to enjoy it. It's not going to overwhelm you, which I have a full review coming. I'm testing it right now. That's why I'm able to articulate this stuff. The last couple of nights I've been spraying it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think it was a great spot for me to start with the house. And if you like fragrances that perform in that manner, it could just be on me, but that's been my experience with it. But if you like fragrances that perform in that manner, that's what it does for me. Carlisle and Herod, yeah, for sure. Nothing really comes to mind. That's a very in the moment kind of thing for me to answer. it would have to happen for me to do that. And I'm not saying it hasn't. Just nothing really stands out. I test so many fragrances and smell so many fragrances all the time for years and years now. That unless it's pretty fresh in my memory when that happened, it's not coming up. You know, I know it's happened recently, but apparently not recently enough for it to pop up in my head. So I apologize. And we're going to shut it off in the next 10 minutes. We'll cut it off at a good hour and a half because we covered the top. We're just talking right now. Won't break the bank. Any suggestions? Fresh floral. Another one with a Falcons avatar. What the hell is with the Falcons fans today? Danielle, great to see you. Saints fan, good to see you. I got 2 Falcons fans today. What the hell's going on here? What is going on here? Plus, I had a Falcons fan in my comments earlier. Is it just Atlanta Falcons Day on the channel? Oh, I'm just giving you a hard time. That doesn't break the bank. So when you say doesn't break the bank, I'm going to assume under 80. That's going to be the price point I'm going to go off of. I would say something along the lines of Givenchy Gentleman Intense. That's 6 to 8 hours easily on skin, more so like 8 hours range for me. A little bit of fresh and spice with some iris. It's nice. It's better than the original, the regular Eau de Toilette. It's intensified. It's appropriately named. I think that's a good option for what you're asking. You can get that one for 60-ish range, $55 to $65 range. And it's not a beast, but it lasts pretty long. And it's good stuff. I think it really fits the profile of what you're asking. 28.3. Sorry I'm late. Dior Homme Parfum. Hope all is well. Excellent, excellent, excellent choice. Percival Leighton and Harrod. That's a great 3 right there. See, I don't really get florals from Hawass. I really don't. When Yupon Wild came out, I was like, thank God we can move on from the original. I've never tried that one. I heard good things, though. The EDP, very sweet, still similar to the original, but better, way better. And then the Parfum, the Le Parfum. That's the best one to me. It's a sweet floral. So good. So good. Absolute's pretty good. Doesn't smell anything like Yupon. Yupon Ice, too. Doesn't smell anything like Yupon. Thanks for by Hawass. So that's a sweet aquatic, bubblegum aquatic with some spice. So keep that in mind. I was surprised that the floral recommendation came up. So I don't want you – temper your expectations on floral. I'm not saying there isn't florals, but maybe it's just me. I don't get a whole lot of florals out of it. Nostalgia reasons still like Yupon. My dad still wears Yupon, and I can't stand it. I'm working as a fragrance vendor, mostly designer fragrances. My nose matured so much, I'm finding myself underwhelmed. Well, you will with designers at a certain point. But I enjoy just the fun of smelling new things. That's why I can appreciate a $10 for certain $10 fragrances, not all of them, but a $10 fragrance up to $1,000 fragrance easily, you know? So I just like the fun of it. You'll never see me turn into a snob for the more expensive stuff. I like variety. I like a lot of variety when it comes to fragrance. No worries. It's all good. Yeah, it is quite good. Without the OG DNA, exactly. It smells nothing like it. Untold. Oh my God, loving it. Smells amazing. So that has a little bit of floral tone to it for sure. Beautiful cotton candy sweetness, sugary, nice jasmine and amberwood hit. It's good stuff. Oud Rising, very close to Ambre Nomade. And Fahrenheit Parfum. Yeah, Fahrenheit Parfum. Man, that's a good one. Jacquard Noir or Yupon, every dad's scent. Not until the spring rolls around again. I'm super seasonal. Like I'm not really wearing anything all that fresh right now. About to run out of my code Profumo. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. Until the EDP came around, Profumo was my favorite. Now it's my number 2. And I only have a 30 ml. I cherish it. I haven't really seen it because it's been discontinued for a little while now, I think. None come to mind. I'm not saying you can't and won't find it, but it's going to be difficult. Fun fact, Sex Panther fragrance from the movie Anchorman is apparently based on Drakkar Noir. That's hilarious. Your wife hates it? My wife loves it. Thank God, because I love it. Worked in a factory during college. Several guys were wearing it. I believe that. I totally believe that. It's got an earthiness to it, that's for sure. Very much like I said in my live stream when I did the first impressions, very much I could get the rock star vibe to it. And apparently that's the theme to it. I didn't even realize. So apparently I was smelling the story they were telling. The website, because the Reve. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to let them know, hey, man, the notes got them a little jacked up here. I'm going to message him and let him know. Yeah, so Michael Gassaway pointed out in the chat much earlier, but it smells like a lumberyard. He hit me with the rise up. There we go. Gentlemen, it is 28-3 stud seat. Like I told y'all, that triggers any Falcons fan. That's all you got to do is say 28-3. Look, we both suck. How about that? Let me take the power away. We're both garbage. Both our teams are shit this year. So you got a little bit of hope with the future, but we need to just flush it down the toilet and start over. That's where I'm at with my organization. It's time. Stop trying to hold on to what was left of the team from Drew. It's over. We need to start over. Coaching staff, Mickey Loomis, everybody. We need to just clean house, start over, find a GM that knows how to draft fucking quarterbacks, because Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton never did. Just no more drafting the best, signing the best free agent quarterback available and shit, which never works. Because, I mean, Taysom Hill's not really a quarterback. And then between Derek Carr and Jameis Winston, come on. I've always laughed at Jameis Winston being the most 50-50 quarterback of all time. It's a 50-50 ball. He's either throwing a beautiful deep ball or a holy shit, why did he throw that pick six? And if you hear it from Jameis Winston, he's an all-time great quarterback because he threw 5,000 yards in a season where he threw 30 interceptions and broke the record for interceptions for a touchdown. That's how delusional Jameis Winston is. Yeah. So, but he has remarkable plays too. That's why I say he's the most 50-50 quarterback of all time. He's either going to give you a holy shit, that boy's got talent play, or oh my God, can we cut him? It's going to be that. Every game, you get both. It's crazy how it works out. That's one of my quarterbacks. Business over pleasure to the office day in Dallas. You, sir, smell fantastic. So 2 more minutes. We're going to do a hard stop at an hour and a half. Sean John 3 a.m. and Vintage Green 78. That's definitely some good cheapies. Not for Evening Mystique. For Aurum, you can. Zed creators discounts aren't available, but for everything else, if you use TLTG Zhead, Z-E-D-H-E-A-D, TLTG Zhead, you can save 10% off everything else on the site. But yeah, Evening Mystique, Of the Immortals, Second Soul, there's no discounts for those. Unless something changed and I wasn't told. The discounts don't work on them. I do get a little bit of that. Top 10 cents to secure your dream. Well, that's not authentic to me, because I've been happily married for 13 years with my wife for over 14 years, just married for 13 years. And so I'm not checking out gym crushes and all that good stuff. So that's something I can't do and won't do because it's not authentic to me. I'd be making some shit up, and I don't like doing videos where I'm just making some shit up and there's no actual experience or anything. I like to do things that relate to personal experience I've had with certain fragrances for certain topics. So I won't be able to do that one. Sorry, man. Rid of car and y'all be good. We need to get rid of more than car. That's a very good possibility. Infrared ET, sweet but manly because of tobacco. Plans for upcoming blind fragrance test with Justin. Not in the immediate future, but I'm sure at some point we'll get together again. I live in Florida. He lives in Oregon. Opposite corners of the country, literally opposite corners. So, it's not that easy. So it's only when we happen to get together for certain things. And I'm not saying we won't before the 2024 ends. There's a possibility for us getting together in 2024. There is indeed a possibility for that. But it's not anytime soon. It's not in the immediate future. But eventually I'll hang with Justin. And we always do content when we hang. So, but thank you for asking. Thursday, we're doing a live stream on his channel, by the way. He's setting it up right. I don't know the topic. I told him I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I'm down. I'll walk through fire with him. We can talk about fragrances. Ride or die. It's my guy. So he hasn't set it up and put it out public yet. I'm sure by tomorrow he'll have it. But Thursday at 4 o'clock Central. Yeah, 4 o'clock Central. We'll be live on Justin's channel, me and him. I get asked that all the time. I got to go with Vanilla Oud, even though I love Ani, because Vanilla Oud's one of the 5 best fragrances I've ever smelled. Ever. Yeah, that E to W shit he does. So stupid. Zerzov Don. Does it annoy you when you talk fragrance with normies and they can only bring up mass appealing designers? I like how you said normies. No, it doesn't bother me. It's more, I prefer to be asked the question than to offer the conversation, because it's like, I don't want to sound like I'm speaking Greek to someone, because if you're not into this hobby, you're not going to give a shit more than likely. And I don't want to just talk somebody's ear off for something they actually don't even give a damn to hear about. Does that make sense? So I don't dictate the conversation when it comes to having a fragrance conversation with somebody that's not into it the way we are. So I let the conversation come to me and let it unfold at what I believe to be a reasonable pace. I think that's the best way to go about that, because you don't want to sound overly geeky and excited about something that they genuinely were probably not looking for a long answer from. I mean, unless they really show you they're looking for a long, drawn-out explanation. I try not to offer it. I let it come to me. 2023 release. Burnt sugar note. Sounds interesting. So you're talking about the caramel and burnt woods. That's the note breakdown. Caramel and burnt woods. I ordered it the other night. It's part of the fragrance buy order that shipped today. I've been wanting to check it out. Justin did speak very highly of it. But it's a Cartier fragrance. Of course, Justin spoke highly of it. He loves Cartier. I was not surprised that he would like that. But I'm eager to check it out. It's the time of year for something like that. Sweet, dark, woodsy, smoky. I bet it is going to be good. Boy can play, like in the Dire Straits song. Let's see. 10 Carolina on Amazon for a good price. The Saints will be back, and so will we. Better quarterback, better draft picks will get us both. Well, it depends on the front office. That's what I'm saying. Mickey Loomis and Dennis Allen falls right into with Sean Payton, have never been able to draft quarterbacks. We need a quarterback. Our defense is really good. We have weapons. Kamara's still fine. Olave is a legit stud, young receiver. Our O-line's solid. We've got decent young weapons. Shaheed, he was out this past week, but he's going to be good for us for a while. So we've got pieces. We either need to blow it up and start over or draft an actual prospect. This is the draft for us to go out and get a quarterback. It's quarterback heavy, this draft. There's no excuse in the next draft. There's no excuse for us. There's ups and downs, but it's one of those things that's funny. Like we were talking about it the other day. Like, we're more in love than we were 13 years ago, 10 years ago. It's sometimes you get lucky and you end up with the person you're supposed to be with that really is the yin to your yang. And the core values are the same, but the personalities have the different nuances that really mesh and play off of one another. And that's pretty much what it is with me and my wife. It's you always work at it with relationships. But there's a give and take and a trust and an understanding that has to come between the two of you. Otherwise it won't work. If there's too much insecurity, everybody's got insecurities, but if there's too much insecurity in the relationship, it's destined to have real trouble and potential failure. So you got to grow together is what it comes down to. You got to be open to growing together and evolving together. If you don't do everything as one, then it just won't work. It can't be two parts to the relationship. It has to be one relationship. Same goal, same ideals. That's what it works with us. You know what I mean? That's what we've come to learn, because we were talking about that the other day when we were at dinner for our anniversary. It's like, it's funny how much more we continue to enjoy each other's company as time goes on. Like, my wife's my best friend. I wouldn't be able to move different places across the country, just me and her, if we weren't best friends. You know what I mean? You have to be your significant other's best friend to have longevity. You just do. You have to enjoy doing everything together. You have to enjoy the things they enjoy, because they, even if you don't care for the thing, you just love that they enjoy it and you want them to be happy. So you do the things with them happily. Does that make sense? Like, she doesn't genuinely care that much about fragrance, but boy, she's interested all the time in whatever I have going on and all the different things she's interested in. I'm interested because she's excited about it. So that's what it comes down to. Number one, if you're not best friends, just cut it down to that, the most simplistic thing. If that's not your best friend, it's going to be a little rougher than it needs to be. Or maybe it just isn't the perfect fit. It's like putting the square peg in the circle hole. Doesn't really fit. So there's no secret. There's no magic thing to the longevity and all that. You just got to be best friends. You got to enjoy each other's company and each other's interests and want the best for the other person, is what it comes down to. I know it's kind of long-winded, but it's actually the summary. Silent Hill, styled review or list with all the snow and fog here would be perfect. Will you pick up the Upscale? Yes, no. We need a Lex Ellis video like that. We need that. I know you've been doing these other topics and stuff when you do content, but you haven't been doing much content. I was looking at your channel the other day. I'm like, yeah, I haven't been doing much. We need that video, Lex. We need that. My price dropped before I buy it. Yeah, Noir Absolute. That's what we're talking about. When he said the Absolute, he meant Noir Absolute. Oregon's a beautiful state. I've never been there. I'll tell you what, the scenery Justin has from his loft apartment. Nice place he lives in. Justin and Grace live in a nice place. I talked to them the other night. They called me to congratulate me on 100K and everything. I had a great conversation. I love them so much. They're such wonderful people. Justin and Grace, a beautiful couple together. Speaking of people that are going to last a long, long time, Justin and Grace, they are everything I described about me and my wife. They are that for them too. Such a great chemistry there. Beautiful people. I've spent a lot of time with the two of them together. I've been around Grace quite a bit on a few trips. They're awesome. Justin and Grace are awesome guys. Well, howdy. How are you, Anthony? Number one, office. Sadly, I'm down to about half of my bottle. What's gone, I have to rely on Versace Pour On once again as my go-to office fragrance. That's my favorite office fragrance besides Business Over Pleasure too. So we have very similar taste. Unfortunately, it's over. It's never coming back, my man. I'm sorry. Because the ones George was talking about releasing, it's just one box of fragrance. It's not a lot. And I'm not going to tell you the exact number of how many's in a box, but it's not like it's a gigantic box. It's a small amount. You know, it was going to be just a gone in less than an hour kind of thing. Kind of like Dior Homme Parfum, how it typically sells out pretty quick on Fragrance Buy. That's kind of how that would have went. Because it's not like it was a big stock or anything. So we're hour 38. I need to go ahead and shut it down. We ran a little bit longer. On occasion, I get one here and there. It's usually on my upper back portion of my shoulders, maybe on my trap. Like I have one on my trap right here, right now. You might actually, there it is, right there. But not bad. And then I shave on top of that. So it's more I get ingrown hairs here and there than just random acne. I don't really get a lot of side effects, mainly because I'm on an estradiol. Arimidex is the street name for that. I take a half an estradiol every shot. So that really keeps the aromatization, the conversion into estrogen a lot lower. My estrogen levels at an extremely healthy spot, because you don't want your estrogen to be too low, because then you have it lowers your bone density, your bone mineral content. I've actually popped a rib on the chest supported T-bar row like 2 years ago, because I had to lower my dose because my estrogen was like a 7. It was like way low. Like you need to be closer to a 20. I was a 7. It was like red on my lab work. And he was like, hey, you need to lower your dose. How much are you taking? So That was 3/4 of a pill every shot. Now I do half a pill every shot. So, and it's been like that for a long time. Body hasn't built a tolerance to it. So that's what it comes down to, is to lower the side effects, you need the appropriate counteractive measurements. Because when you're on TRT, it's going to be testosterone cypionate, which is the oil-based long ester form of testosterone, which you're going to get the most water retention and acne from if it's not mitigated properly. So I am not a professional. I am just explaining experiences to you guys. I want to make sure to state that I'm not a professional, licensed physician, or anything like that. Not providing any medical advice, just sharing my particular experience. But you might be more prone to acne than I am. There's that. You might genetically be predisposed to it more when your testosterone level raises. She actually is not into that. I didn't have to worry about that. Pretend you didn't like it, but you know secretly you did. Leave it to Lex. Sean, good to see you. Busy, crazy day. Happiness Oud by F.A. Paris. Dupe of Initio Oud for happiness. Thanks for the stream. Always good hearing your stories and love the sports jokes. I appreciate you, Lex. Thank you, man. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Let me get to the bottom of this real quick. Oh, so if you have, I would get a hefty dumbbell or kettlebell, like a big one, and elevate your heels, even if it's just using like a 45-pound plate or something, if you're doing home gym, or like a 2x4, something where you can elevate your heels, do a narrow stance, goblet squats, where you actually holding the dumbbell right here, chest high, in the bottom toward the top part of the dumbbell, or on a kettlebell, you can hold it like this and do squats like that, because it's going to create a slight impingement on the front end by your knees because the weight's in front of you. So it's really going to focus on the quads. It's not going to be a heavy glute hamstring movement like a back squat would be, where you really incorporate your hamstrings and your glutes more. That's why they tell girls squat. You build your ass more with squats. With those types of squats, the goblet squat, you're going to build the quads more. So it's very quad focused because, like I said, it creates the impingement more by the knees, much more by the knees, because the weight's in front of you. So that's one to do that's really good at in a home gym. Or do split lunges, one leg at a time, hold 2 dumbbells and step back into a lunge, alternating, or you can just do the one side, however many reps, then switch legs. So that's probably the 2 I would say are the best for if you're working out at home. It depends on what you have available, but you could do that with limited things. You don't have to have barbells and machines and stuff to do that. And then you could always kind of lean over and set up some 2x4s to work your calves, like nail 2 2x4s together. You could actually create a platform to stand on to do calves, and just do body weight and burn it the hell out. Feet in, work the outer calves, toes out, work the inner calves, and then straight up and just burn it out. You can do a lot of volume. And then with your hamstrings, I'm trying to think, because in that instance, you would want something that has either feet further up, because you will work them with the split leg squat, the lunges. You will work your hamstrings a lot more in that situation. It all depends. I think as long as you're doing that, you're really getting the total leg workout minus the calves with the lunges. Lunges are going to be your best friend for doing legs at home, really. It's like the ultimate at-home leg exercise. You could do it walking. You could do it in place. You could do a variety. You could do a lunge, then a hop, lunge, then a hop with lighter weight. So you can build up some endurance and explosiveness and get a little bit of cardiovascular movement. Like, there's a lot of things you could do. But I need to shut this down. Shit. Buying with top fragrance plus signature brands like Manseri views are golden, and I'm addicted to buying fragrances the right way now. Well, I sure appreciate you. You're now officially one of my favorite Falcons fans. I appreciate you. My pleasure, big dog. My pleasure. So last one, and I'm shutting it down. Will be a bit better option pretty much year round. Percival or Sedley. Ooh, so we're ending on a good one. This is going to be the last one. It comes down to taste. So I think the better versatility is Sedley, but the more sensual and attractive to the other sex is Percival in my experience. And I know a lot of guys' experience is the Fierce DNA. So it's hard to choose. It comes down to, do you want a slightly more professional smell, or you do want a slightly more alluring smell? Sedley, slightly more professional. Percival, slightly more alluring, but both can do the job. That's pretty much what it comes down to. That's how you can answer that. You have to answer that part. That's my take on the 2 scent profiles. And with that, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you for the member renewals. It's great to see everybody. If you want to get your hands on any of these, there's links in the description with 10% off code if you want to check them out. Thank you, Aroma Concepts, for sending these my way. Epoque Artistique is the one. And Creation de Reve, if you like dry, woody, spiced fragrances, I'm telling you, this is really good stuff too. So they did good. They did really good. They're cheap too. And they don't smell the price point, which is a huge bonus. So catch you guys on the next one. Check out today's video. It was my favorite niche releases of the year. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.